Yo, what is going on, guys? Conquest back with another video, and in this video today I just wanted to go over 10 easy tips to help you improve at Rainbow Six Siege, whether you're on console, PC, whatever it may be. These are just 10 tips to help you guys out to improve your skill level at Rainbow Six Siege. Now, I wanted to start off with the first thing, and I know this is very obvious, but to play slow. This game, you have so much time to get in there and do what you gotta do, or sit back and defend, post up on a head glitch. You have so much time. It's ranked, cash, whatever. You have so much time. You don't really need to rush. I know that rushing sometimes does work out, but it's not always gonna work. Play slow. Playing it just helps out so much. Unless you are really good at rushing and you know rush routes and stuff, just play slow. Playing slow, you have so much time to, drone out the enemies. You can get positions, you can know where they're positioned at. Just playing slow helps out so much to get more information instead of just rushing in there and not knowing where anything's at. My second tip is to lean and hold the angles. Now again, this is a very obvious one. For newer players in the game, leaning is huge. Leaning is essential. Holding angles, if you don't really understand what I mean by holding angles, what I mean by holding the angle is you want to put yourself in a spot where you can see them better than they can see you. So basically, you want to be leaning around a doorway, or leaning around a wall, leaning around anything that makes yourself less visible and less of an easy target to hit, but allowing you to still see their entire body or more of their body. It helps out incredibly. It is huge factor in Rainbow Six Siege. I'll tell you, it is a game changer. Leaning is a game changer. There are plenty of different places to lean, sit at. Just leaning will help you so much. It will help you immensely. It's crazy how much leaning actually does help. And just the small little thing in the game can change it drastically. So please lean, hold angles. If you don't know what I mean by hold angles, I will leave a link in the description for another video that you can go watch other players on how to hold an angle. I'm not going to show you today. It might be in another video, but hold the angle. I will put a video in the description if you want to go check it out on how to hold the ankle. My third tip, now this tip is huge. It's also a huge thing. It is teamwork and communication. Even if you don't play as a team, and you don't always have to, so you can solo queue sometimes. You can play with a full squad, 2-3 people. Either way, communication and teamwork is essential to winning games. Now, sometimes you can solo queue and not have any communication and end up winning the game. It happens. Again, games vary, but teamwork and communication is huge. Now, let me tell you, there are so many situations where a teammate falls and you don't know where he died from or where he's at, and you go into the room and you end up dying because you're not sure where he's at. Now, communication is huge for that. Communication helps out so much. Say you're in a 2v1 situation and the enemy is holding an angle and your teammate dies, so now you're left in a 1v1, right? If your teammate has a mic and he's giving good communication, he will let you know exactly where he's at, where he died from. Your teammate will let you know where he's at exactly and what kind of angle he's holding and if to challenge or not. Now, that is just essential. If you have no communication on that teammate, it's going to make it 100 times harder for you. I can guarantee you that, unless you run in there and get some lucky kill or the kid's not as good, whatever. It's just communication is essential. Communication is just essential. It'll help you strategize, get information. It will help you build pushes, build good defense. Just know what your team is doing. Communication is just huge. And teamwork, just knowing just what your team is doing at all times, it really helps out a lot. And I know it's kind of obvious, but it is huge. My fourth tip is going to be baiting. Now this tip isn't as big as any other tips I've already said so far, like teamwork, communication, anything like that. It's not as big, but it's still a big part of the game to help you out. Now, the players that are more experienced in the game can understand this, and the newer players try to like get a sense of what's happening. Baiting, you do not have to pick up your teammate every time. You don't have to pick them up right away. You don't need to do those things. You can bait your teammate. If your teammate goes down and the enemy on the other team, say it's Caviera, goes to interrogate, instead of trying to revive him instantly, you can wait it out a couple seconds, get some information, possibly stop the interrogation and kill him just by baiting your teammate. You do not have to pick him up. Let him sit there. Let him sit there down. Just give information. If you don't know where your teammate got shot from and he goes down, but he's not dead yet, you can, look into the room and you can see like where the bullets are coming from. Maybe if it's Caviar, she's running up, going for the interrogation. Baiting is also a really big thing. It's not as big as something else, but baiting will help a lot. Trust me, you do not need to revive right away. In some scenarios, reviving right away is the better option. Sometimes, again, that the game changes a lot. It varies. Some things are different. Some games, some things aren't. It's all situational, but you do not need to pick up your teammate right away. My fifth tip is using your drone. Now, you obviously get the drone in the preparation phase as an attacker, and now this isn't only for attackers, but I'm saying like just in general, droning, cameras, just everything. That's also huge to get information, to know where enemies are at, where they're coming from. As an attacker, using your drone, you get the one in prep phase, you get to find out where they're at. You don't need to bring your drone into objective. You don't need to. What I like to do, since I like to play as Buck, and it can shoot through floors, ceilings, whatever. If I'm planning on shooting through the floor or shooting through the ceiling with Buck, I take my drone and put it in the room that I'm gonna go into to shoot through the floor or the ceiling. I like to put it in there so I know, maybe if there's someone in there, someone sitting in there, I can know that. I'll just hop on my drone real quick before I go into the room, see if there's anyone in there, drone it out. You do not need to take your drone into the objective on prep phase. You don't need to. Obviously, you might sometimes. I don't know. It all varies, obviously, but you don't need to. Now, droning outside of prep phase is a different story. Don't blind run into a building. Use your drone. Drone out corners. Don't lazy drone. Now, I see this a lot. Lazy droning is very popular. It gets people killed all the time. Lazy droning kills. And what do I mean by lazy droning? Lazy droning is just droning into a room and not really checking all the corners, not checking every available spot, going in there, getting a little information, and then, just running into the room. Say you don't check a corner because you're lazy droning, and you run into the room and you die because you thought you checked that corner, or maybe you didn't even check the corner. Lazy droning could get you killed in some situations. Don't lazy drone. You could also use it when you're in a 1v1 situation, or if you're in a clutch situation, it could also be useful to drone if you still have your drone. You can drone out, see where their enemies are at, just whatever. Droning, save your drones, use your drones efficiently and effectively. My sixth tip is going to be map knowledge. Now this is huge. Map knowledge is huge. Knowing every corner, every window, every, whatnot. Map knowledge is crucial. Now, you'll pick up map knowledge as you play the game more. For newer players that just get into the Rainbow Six Siege, you need to learn the maps. Learn the maps. Go into custom games. Run around the map a little bit. Play casual, terrace hunt, whatever. Map knowledge is huge. Don't just start jumping into ranked games and not knowing the maps. I'm guilty of going into ranked and not knowing a map. When DLC maps came out, like Skyscraper and Favela, I didn't know the map right away, but I just hopped into rank, and it would put me in a game on Favelas and on Skyscraper sometimes. Now, you need to know map knowledge. Map knowledge, it'll help you out immensely as well. This is also a very big one. You need to know, every single corner, every single desk you can hop on. You want to know everything about the map if you possibly can, you know, like every desk, every window, every corner, every peak, every angle, every, you know, because it'll help you out. Because as an attacker, map knowledge will help you out to get situational and dynamical kills. I don't even know if dynamical is a word, but the game is very dynamic. You can put yourself in different situations to get different kills. Say you're fused, you can fuse from the top. If you know that you can fuse through the ceiling, walls, whatever, map knowledge is just gonna be huge. Map knowledge is huge. Please learn the maps. My 7th tip is going to be aiming high. Now, aiming high, this is kind of obvious, but it's also a big thing. I've seen it a bunch where people just aim in the doorways, not high. They aim towards the waist below, and it's very annoying to watch because a headshot in this game is instant, one bullet, no matter what. One bullet headshots. Now, if you play the game, you'll know. But I'm just saying that if for the players that don't know, one bullet to the head will kill them instantly. You don't have to worry about it. So please aim high. Aim high. Chest up. You will increase your chances of getting a kill greatly, and it'll just help you out so much. Aiming higher allows you to win more gunfights as well. If you come in a gunfight and your enemy is aiming lower than you, is aiming towards your waist and below, and you're aiming towards the chest up, you're more likely to win that gunfight because you are doing more damage, you are dealing more damage, while he is not dealing as much damage. So please, 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 I can't stress this enough, aim high. My 8th tip, and this is very obvious if you've played Rainbow Six Siege, is dynamic maps. These maps are super dynamic, the game is super dynamic, everything is super dynamic. Some walls, doors, ceilings, floors aren't dynamic and you can't bust open, shoot through them, breaching charge them, fuse them, whatever, but most areas are. And now this will change the game. You know, one little reinforcement can change an entire round. One reinforcement can change an entire kill. It can be a kill or a death. Dynamic maps change everything. Dynamic aspect of the game changes everything. One little reinforcement, one little barricade, one little, you know, whatever, can change an entire round, can change an entire kill, an entire game. I can't stress this enough. Use the dynamic aspect of the game to help you out. You know, bust holes through walls, bust holes through non-reinforced walls, do whatever, you know. The dynamic of the game will help you out so much. Just the dynamic aspect, it will help so much. There's a bunch of different opportunities you can do with the dynamic aspect of the game. It'll help you out so much, and if you can get an upper edge on your enemy if they aren't aware of the dynamic aspect that you're taking advantage of. My 9th tip is thinking outside the box. Now, you guys are probably confused. What do you mean thinking outside the box? You know, this also goes along with the dynamic aspect. You can outsmart your enemy in so many ways. You can bust through walls, you can do anything. Now, this is why it goes with the dynamic aspect of the game. You can outsmart your enemies there's so many different ways that you can change up an entire game. So think outside the box. You know, sometimes you can go through up on a ceiling above the objective and shoot through the floor. You can go underneath, shoot through the floor. You can, you know, break hatches. Use your head. There's a lot of different ways that you can outsmart your opponent in this game. Tons of different ways. You can, you know, throw a impact grenade on a wall and then flank around. You can just outsmart your enemies. Like, that's key to this game. Key, outsmarting your enemies. If you can throw them off, play mind games, and you can just throw them off than what they're thinking, it'll help so much and it will make you win so many more games. For my last tip, this is number 10, it's going to be choosing your operators wisely. Your operators matter so much depending on your team. I know some people that just play ops just to play ops for the guns. I mean, that is okay, but playing ops for your team will help your team win and help you succeed more, and it helps so much. I've been in so many situations where we haven't had the right operators for the right objective, and we ended up losing because of that, because we had to choose a different way around, and it killed us in the end. pick operators based on what your team is picking. If you're playing an objective where you need Thermite and Thatcher, make sure you have Thermite and Thatcher. You need it. Make sure you have Habana and Thatcher. You know, make sure you have these things that are essential to get into an objective the way you want to. Play operators based on your team. Now, Thermite and Thatcher and Habana and Thatcher are the most common. Thermite and Thatcher and Habana are the most common, as well as Twitch in there as well, for Miras, reinforced walls, and for Thatchers to take out the Mute and the Jaegers and the Bandits, obviously. Those are the most common. They play big roles in each other's operators. They play big roles in each other's gadgets. They rely on each other, which is why that playing operators around your team helps out so much. So please, 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 please pick operators around other operators for your team. It'll help you out so much. Now, those are all the 10 tips that I have. I know there are 10 more, but those are the 10 biggest ones that I could think of. If you guys did enjoy, I would love you guys to leave a like, share for your friends if they need to know, if they want to learn how to play Rainbow Six Siege. Please share this video, like, you know, whatever. And that's going to be all for today's video. I hope you guys did enjoy. Again, leave a like if you're new, subscribe. And it's been Conquest, guys. Later.